In this video, we're going to show you a video comparison between the Pride Zero Turn 10 and the Pride LX Sport, so stay tuned. All right, so in this video, we're going to show you two four-wheel scooters by Pride Mobility. These have been out for quite some time now, so they are tested. They've been great sellers in the market, but there are going to be some differences between these scooters. They are going to look similar, but once again, there are some major differences. So the similarities of what you're going to see, they're both four-wheel units. Neither one of these units comes in a three-wheel version. So both of these are only four-wheel units, and they both have a 400-pound weight capacity. Now, both of these units are also going to go at a little bit faster speed than what's standard on the market. So the 010 is going to go about 7.3 miles an hour, where the LX Sport goes about 8 miles an hour. Now, granted, this is going to depend on your weight, the terrain you're on, things like that. But they are going to be faster than your standard 5 miles an hour that you see on the market. Now, both of these scooters can be used outside because they have decent bit of power. I believe the Zero Turn 10 has two motors in the back that are somewhere around this 300 watts a piece. So you're somewhere in that 600 watt range for power. And the LX Sport is going to have one motor in the back at about 500 watts, between 5 to 550, somewhere in that range. So power-wise is going to be similar, but what the main difference between these units is going to be is tire size and then how the wheels turn. So a Zero Turn 10, like what you see over here, is going to allow the wheels to turn almost all the way to the side. So what that's going to do, that's going to hit a sensor, and you have dual motors in the back that are going to turn independently, actually opposite directions when you hit this zero turn capability. So you're going to turn this scooter in 43 inches of a turning radius. Similar length of a size scooter over here on an LX Sport, this is going to be about 62 inches of a turning radius. So just remember, this is going to turn way sharper. So if there's people out there that are looking for something like it's primarily going to be inside in somewhat smaller spaces, definitely the ZT10. It can go outside, it can go in the grass, but do remember your tires are a little bit skinnier on this unit. I mean, you can just see comparison-wise between these two. So if somebody was telling me, hey, I just need a scooter for outside in my yard going down the street, the LX Sport is going to be the best unit for you. But that's what they make the ZT10 for, is something that is going to be able to turn really sharp with those dual motors. So there's nothing else out there quite like it. They do make a smaller version called a Zero Turn 8. If you are interested, ask us questions on that one, but that would not be as good for non-paved surfaces as what you're looking at here. Now, when I say tire size is smaller, on the Zero Turn 10, the width of the tire is about maybe 2 3/4, 2.5 to 2 3/4 in width. Width is going to be your main factor for traction outside. It's about 9 inches tall by about 2 3/4 or 2.5 wide. On the LX Sport, you're at least an inch wider. You're a true 3 3/4 in width by about 10 to 10.5 inches in height. So that is going to make a big difference when you're going through softer terrain for your traction. So the next thing I'll mention is both of these scooters do have full suspension, front and rear. Both units do have headlights and do have tail lights. Now they are going to look a little bit different between the two units. Pride's headlight is kind of adjustable right here. And on the ZT10, it's going to be a little emblem up here, but then it's kind of built-in down here, kind of like what you see on newer types of vehicles. Both are going to have turn signals, which you'll see if I was to just hit their turn signals. You'll see kind of what they look like. Obviously, it's pretty cool with the display down here, and up here it's going to flash up here by the tiller. An advantage of a Zero Turn 10 is also going to be how you adjust this tiller. So there's a tiller knob halfway up underneath here. If you actually pull this tiller knob up, you can adjust this forward and backwards. On the LX Sport, you actually have to bend over here and adjust that. It's interlocking teeth. So that's going to be a difference. On the Zero Turn 10, you're also going to have a built-in cup holder and a built-in USB port. Over here on the LX Sport, you do not have either one of those functions. Now, obviously, you can get a USB adapter and you can get a cup holder for the arm, but the Zero Turn 10 is built in right in here into the tiller. Now, Zero Turn 10 does have 4 different colors. They have blue, they have white, they have red, and then they have black. Now, black is typically only for brick and mortar stores, so a lot of people try to get this one online, but this is only for brick and mortar stores, so it's not made for the drop shipping type purpose. On the LX Sport, you have 2 colors. You have your red and your standard blue. What makes the LX Sport a little bit more enticing is standard without an upgraded charge. You get an 18 by 18 high back seat that does have a slider on it. That is a little bit of limited recline on the seat. On the Zero Turn 10, it comes with what they call these, I don't know, deluxe captain seats, I believe they call these. And you can get an 18-inch seat, which is standard. You can get a 20-inch seat in the same looking design. Those would both have sliders. If you want to go to a high back seat, you lose the sliding ability. So they take the slider off, and you can go with either a 20 or a 22-inch high back, but those are additional charges. And do remember, you lose the sliding functionality. So what makes the sliding functionality fantastic is if somebody's longer legs or heavy-set individual, they need that leg room to slide that seat back. So do remember, if that is one of your concerns, LX Sport's going to have a little bit more legroom if you slide the seat back, and does come with the standard high back seat at no additional charge. You are able to get one on the Zero Turn 10, but once again, that is going to be an additional charge. A couple other things I want to mention with these units. Both of these are able to be broken down for transporting purposes. Now, it's not like it's easy where the battery pack just lifts out, but you are able to take them apart and disassemble them if you need it. Now, on the LX Sport, the heaviest piece is going to be your front end, which is about 77 pounds. That's going to be your front section. On the Zero Turn 10, because you have dual motors in the back, it's about 75 pounds, but it's going to be your rear section is going to be your heaviest piece. Now, if either one of those are too heavy, both of these units will fit on a Harmar AL100 type lift for the back of your vehicle, or we have other type of lightweight scissor lift type mechanisms that you can put these on that lift 100 pounds at a time. Now, if you're looking at the units, the baskets are going to be similar. The ground clearance is going to be similar. One is 2, the other one's 2.2 inches. But do remember, ground clearance is not that huge of an issue, only in the sense that most people are going to be driving over objects, and your drive wheels are going to lift that low ground clearance, which is your motor transaxle, and you're going to climb over that object. Distance between the units on the Zero Turn 10, I believe, because you have two motors and because you don't go quite as fast, you're going to get about 21 miles maximum distance. That's max distance, ideal conditions. The LX Sport's about 19. Now, do remember, that is going to be ideal conditions without stopping and going, without being all the way at the 400-pound capacity. So do know, just like in a vehicle, that when they give you those specs, that's in ideal conditions. So once again, to recap these two units, we have the LX Sport over here, which is going to be a great unit, fantastic suspension, primarily used for outside. And then we're going to have the Zero Turn 10, which is also a fantastic unit with that great suspension and headlights and built-in cup holder and USB port. But this is going to be more used for, hey, I live in an assisted living facility, but I still want to go out some. That's kind of the concept that this scooter kind of fits. So if you have any questions on these units, give us a call. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how I look sitting outside driving these two units. So stay tuned and follow us out there. It's the LX Sport by Pride Mobility. So this is with the seat slid back on the 18-inch standard seat. The seat post is able to raise up an inch or so. If you're a longer-legged person, you can kick your feet out here. Do remember, I'm 6 foot, 220 pounds, so you can kind of get a reference of how I sit. Plenty of leg room. I have people up to 300 pounds that are 6'5" that sit comfortably in this unit. But you can see right here, just in front of you, I'm about to hit probably Scott and the camera guy, trying to make that turning radius. You see what this looks like on this unit. Now, I'm going to do the exact same turn with the other one so you can see what a 63-inch turning radius looks like or a 43-inch turning radius looks like. So I'm going to go grab the other scooter and I'm going to do that exact same footage right here so you can see apples to apples, and then we're going to go in the grass and we're going to kind of show how they navigate out there. All right, so this is the Zero Turn 10 by Pride Mobility. This is the unit with the smaller turning radius. One thing I did notice between the two units is that top end speed, that 8 miles an hour or 7.3. That's not really the biggest difference, but the acceleration. The LX Sport that I drove first got to high-end speed faster than what the Zero Turn 10 did. Now that's probably ideally made because the LX Sport's outside unit. This is an inside unit. But now I'm going to go ahead right here and I'm going to turn in that same turning radius so you can see the difference. So you can see when these wheels turn sideways, if you actually watch, the rear wheels are actually going to turn in opposite directions. So you'll see this is a 43-inch turning radius. So look here. I mean, I made that turn, almost hit the van, but I still cleared the van. Where the other unit I had, I pretty much was almost hitting Scott. all the way over there. So you can see how much more compact this is. So that's what I'm talking about. It's going to fit different needs. You can see here, this is going to be the seat that's all the way slid back. It's a little bit similar space. I think the LX floorboard space is a little bit wider. It just feels like you got a little more leg room. But once again, 6 foot, 220 pounds, you can kind of see where a size 12 shoe, kind of what I look like sitting on this unit. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to test these, like I said, both in the grass, and we'll kind of see, you know, side by side how they do. But one, I mean, you don't even slow down. You know, I test a lot of units out here that are smaller, not really made for the grass, to see how well it'll perform. But you can see the suspension. I mean, I'm able to get one tire off. It's still going to track. You know, a lot of units do slow down when you're hitting the grass. This one had no hesitation. So the power behind this unit is great. I'm going to go do that exact same thing with the zero turn. I'll give you my opinion on the two. So honestly, the zero turn 10 had plenty of power too. I didn't really see like anything slowed down. But you can just kind of tell it's not as wide. The suspension's not going to quite lift up as much. It's more indoor type unit or non-paved surface. You can see I hit a rut there, and so what actually happened was, by hitting that rut, it turned the wheels sideways and almost wanted to go in that zero turn mode, where I didn't have any issue because it was a wider tire on the LX Sport. So, you know, both are going to be powerful, both will fit your needs, but LX Sport 100% is going to be better for outside, where this will be better inside.
Hi, I'm Mark.
And my name is Alex. We're co-owners of Marc's Mobility.
I started this company in 1995.
We sell many products, not just what you see in this video. If you have any questions or concerns, please call us at the number below at 800-677-6293. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.